Howdy folks, welcome again to thechefandthegrape.com. I am your host, Chef Christoph, and talking about the wines of Chile. And, well, yes, I always have something extraordinary. So today is no different. I have a back vintage from Montes. This is the Montes Folly. Where's the focus? It should be right back here. Montes Folly 2000. If you're unfamiliar with the products of Montes wine from Chile, then you've truly missed out, because this is undeniably one of the premier wineries of all of South America, and in my mind, it's actually one of the premier wineries, period. So Montes wine was started by Aurelio Montes in, I believe, the early 80s. And this was a time in Chile when the only wines really being produced were bulk wines, right? They were very, very inexpensive, under $5 a bottle in the North American market. And that, well, they were worth every penny. But they were actually, for $5, they were great value. They were extraordinary value. And that's why people bought them, and they bought lakes of them, right? This was, even though Chile had a winemaking history of over 100 years already, this was what was putting them on the map, at least in North America, was this really accessible, really delightful value wine. But Aurelio came along and he said, well, I think we can actually do better. I think we can make some of the best wines in the world, to which he got laughed at. I was lucky enough, last year I got to sit in a masterclass with Aurelio's son, Aurelio Jr., who is himself a very skilled winemaker and a dedicated craftsman, working more in Argentina than in the... anyways. So Aurelio Sr. said, I think we can make world-class wine, and pretty much everybody laughed at him. And it was tough. It was really tough. He almost went bankrupt. Long story. He was right. His naysayers were wrong. And Montes Folly is produced in the Apalta Valley in Chile, and it's considered to be one of the great Syrahs anywhere, certainly one of the great Syrahs of Chile. So this is a 2002 vintage, and we're doing the tasting notes now in the spring of 2016. It's a 14-year-old Syrah. I've had this open for a few days because I've been making extensive notes on it, and I have to say, this wine still has lots of life left in it. It's an absolute joy. Unfined, unfiltered, so if you're looking here in the glass and you see, well, there's all sorts of sediment, there's a reason for that. They never find it. They never filtered it. It gives extension to the life. It gives depth and dimension to the flavor. This is a mark of quality. Bulk wines will not do that because they want you to have a clean glass, because they think that's what consumers want. They don't understand that consumers actually want great flavor. Don't we, though? So superb on the nose. Just a wonderfully generous bouquet that runs the gambit from floral tones of iris and peony to raspberries and dark chocolate. It's one of the things I really love about this Syrah. And I'll tell you something. I was in a class, well, the class last year, and the moderator for the lecture actually said, folks, if you don't finish what's left in your glass of this wine, then you're an idiot. And it was left pretty much as simple as that. Like, this is truly extraordinary wine. And I just love how it has all of that dimension, and yet it's all got a beautiful synergy. It all flows together. It's just extraordinary. Now, on the palate, full acids. Red raspberries, black currant, bright, fresh, vibrant, still tons of life. O2 drinking in 2016, I bet it could go to 2020 and beyond. 20 years for this Chilean Syrah. Tannin structure, full. Chewy, grippy, but integrated, right? The sort of thing where I am enjoying it on its own, I'd actually prefer it with a cigar. But that's me. I love cigars. Pair it with food. Whew, tricky. Treat it like Barolo. Serious. Treat it like Barolo. And pair it with something like an Ossobuco. Absolutely. Wonderful. Not sure about, Ossobuco Milanese with the truffle, because the truffle might, then again, this might just love truffle. I think a bit of the mushroom notes would actually be delightful with this. Concentration. Yeah, concentration is full and mimics the nose in a beautiful way. There's a hint of a minerality underneath it all, though, right? There's all of those berry tones and some leather and some wood and some savory herbaceousness and cocoa. Beautiful dark chocolate, like 85% dark chocolate. It's gorgeous. But there's a hint of, and it's like, some of you might remember, I love the Lindt sea salt dark chocolate. I love that. And tasting this wine, I actually get notes of that. Let's talk about price. If you're lucky, you'll find these gems at auction every once in a while, but not too often. I was lucky. I found this at auction, I think, just last year, and I don't think I paid more than $40 US for it, which is extraordinary because new vintages run $40 US or higher, sometimes 50 or 55. It depends on what market you're in, right? So to actually get it for less than market price for a new vintage, really extraordinary. And if I had to hesitate a value for a wine like this, I would guess it to be retail, $225, $200 US, something like that, I would guess. If I got it for $150 US, I would think that I got a good deal. And so that means if you got this in a restaurant, it would be a $400 bottle for sure. And once again, it's actually worth it. This is an extraordinary wine. This is 93 plus 94 points, easily, without breaking a sweat, as are most vintages of this wine. There's a reason why Wine Advocate, Wine Spectator, Decanter, why the entire wine world actually loves these wines, because they're extraordinary. And they speak to their terroir and their craftsmanship in such a unique way. Really, if you love Syrah and if you love Chilean wines, fork over the cash, give it a try. I call this excellent, excellent value. I hope that you and I get to continue the conversation on Facebook at The Chef and the Grape, on Twitter at A Student of Wine, of course here on the YouTube channel at Christoph, Kristof Gillese, Gillese. If you're enjoying these videos, please click the like button, please click the share button. Once again, this is something extraordinary. The 2002 Montes Folly from Chile. I hope you look for this in your markets, and I hope that you enjoy it.